making more money can solve a lot of problems for you. But if you already have extremely bad money habits, if money burns a hole in your pocket, if you just can't seem to save no money, you don't have any money invested, you can't save $20, do you really think that making more money or getting a lump sum of money or whatever the case may be? Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Vibes 365 podcast, where we have productive and stimulating conversations about how to be more mindful in all the areas of your life. I'm your host, Malaysia, and today I'm going to be your voice of reason. So if I step on some toes today, forgive me in advance, because we are going to be talking about how your small money habits are creating very big problems for you. Now, you already know I like to say, if you're not going to be honest with yourself and keep it real with yourself about the things that you do and things that are discussed on this podcast that you may engage in that's not in your best interest, you may as well stop listening now, because we are going to dig deep, get honest, get transparent, and really get down to business. Because what I'm realizing is, in today's times, a lot of people are just under the assumption that, oh, the key to my problems is making more money, right? Everything is going up. Groceries are increasing. Bills are increasing. Everything that you can think of, we all know, everything is getting higher. And people will sit here and tell you, people on the internet, right? People around you, people in your family, whatever. People will tell you that the answer to all of your individual problems right now is to just make more money. But I'm here to be your voice of reason and tell you that multiple things can be true at one time. Yes, you need to make more money, but however, you also probably need to acknowledge that you have horrible and poor small money habits, which, if you were to get a chance to get an opportunity to get some more money, to make some more money, to get a raise, to get a lump sum of money, win the lottery, I don't care how you get the money, right? Probably would be safe to assume that you're just going to do the same exact things you would with the amount of money that you have now with the new amount of money that you would get from a different resource, whatever that may be. I have been fortunate enough to really see and learn firsthand that if your money habits are not already right and tight, more income is not going to fix the root issue. So if you're thinking right now, I just need some more money, man, I just need some more money, and right? I'm not saying that that may not be the case for you. Everybody needs some more money, of course. I'm totally not disagreeing with that, because people are going to be in the comments, or someone might listen to this and say, oh no, people love to tell you to cut back and da-da-da. And no, the problem is things are too high, and we can't control prices. We can only control what we can control. And what we can control is the amount of money we make, and we can control the amount of money that we spend, save, and invest. So therefore, today, like I said, I'm going to be your voice of reason today. You may not have heard these things that I'm going to mention from your friends, your boyfriend, your parents, whoever is around you who you consult about money. That's okay, right? A lot of people are not going to keep it real with you, but see me, this is what this podcast is for. I want you to become more mindful of how you're spending your money, how you're looking at your money. And I really just want to break down and get into some common money myths, because there's a lot floating around. Okay, so let's really get straight into it. Now, people love to say, just make more money. Like that's a magical fix to your financial struggles, your financial problems. And like I said, yes, more money is going to help you. And here's the reality of it. Inflation is real. Groceries, rent, gas, all of these things are expensive and on the rise. But like I said, multiple things can be true at one time. And I honestly feel like we are now in a society where people don't acknowledge the fact that multiple things can be true. It's like everybody is like, oh, if I believe this one thing to be true, this is the only thing that's true. This is the only perspective that I'm going to acknowledge. But you have to be radically open-minded, which is something that I have learned, and that can be applied to everything. Like you have to stay open-minded about everything. And in terms of money, yes, making more money can solve a lot of problems for you. But if you already have extremely bad money habits, if money burns a hole in your pocket, if you just can't seem to save no money, you don't have any money invested, you can't save $20 a week, a month, do you really think that making more money or getting a lump sum of money or whatever the case may be is really going to help you? Because if your money habits are already already a mess. A bigger paycheck is just going to become more money to mess up. If more money was truly the key to all problems, explain to me how athletes, celebrities, actors, all of the people who actually make large amounts of money, right? They experience so much success. They make millions of dollars and then they end up going broke. We all know and hear about stories of people who were famous and went broke and went back to working a regular job, and it just seemed like they fell off. They started selling their houses and cars because they couldn't afford any of it anymore. You went from winning millions of dollars from the lottery, and then years later you have no money. You went from being an A-list celebrity, an A-list actor, singer, whatever, and then you started to sell your assets, your houses, your cars, your jewelry, right? What happened? That should just go to show you guys that the amount you make definitely does matter, but your habits matter more. And if you don't learn how to manage $500, you're not going to magically learn how to manage $5,000. And this is something that's very important to drill into your head while you're in your 20s. As a 25-year-old, I have really learned and made it a point to study money, to study good money habits, to study all I can it is to know about money on a consistent basis, because number one, you're not taught how to do right by money in school. And more than likely, a lot of people don't grow up learning the right monetary concepts, right? A lot of us may not come from families where, you know, we have families who are well off and things are put in place and systems are in place and money is here, money is there, and it's a plethora of money, but it's all being managed correctly, right? If you're watching this, 9 times out of 10, that's not the case for you. So you're in your stage of figuring it out. And if you're in your 20s, this is the best time, honestly, to figure this out. Because if you can develop and really build up good money habits while you're in your 20s, your 30s are going to be a breeze. Your 40s are going to be a breeze. Your 50s are going to be a breeze. Yes, things can happen. Yes, life can happen. But at the end of the day, you will have a strong foundation. That's what you want, a strong foundation. I'm not looking for people to be perfect. I'm not saying that you're going to get filthy rich in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. I'm just saying that if you want to be comfortable, there are some things and some habits and some mindsets that you kind of need to break and shift around so that you can get a better understanding and a better grip on your finances, right? Money should not burn a hole through your pocket. I know a lot of you watching right now, you probably struggle with that. You probably are like, you know, I'm just not good with money and I just don't know how to budget and I just don't know how to save. I don't have no money invested. I just don't know. I don't know how to control my spending, right? It's okay, because I'm going to get y'all together today. So I want you guys to do a little self audit and ask yourself some of these questions, okay? Number one, when was the last time you looked at your bank or credit card statements in full? I mean, you know, not ignoring the emails that you get at the end of every month, like, oh, your statement is available, okay? Or the statement, the paper statement that you get in the mail that shows you a recap of your previous month's spending. When was the last time you did that? A lot of y'all probably ignore those emails because you don't want to go back and look. Even if you don't even look at the bank statements, when was the last time you even just went back through your bank account transactions? A lot of us are just in a habit of spending. We're not in a habit of checking behind it. We rely so much on technology, taking it back to the old days when our parents used to balance their checkbooks, okay? And it's crazy because my parents still do that. And they obviously have a bank account. They can keep up with transactions, but they're like, it's good practice, so we need to still do it anyway. But that's so real because a lot of us do not do that. Obviously, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, you're probably not doing that. You're probably not taking the time out to write out your expenses on paper. Okay, fine. You don't have to do that. But when was the last time you actually went back and checked? When have you checked and saw like, oh, you know, I ate out a little bit too much this week. I actually spent more than what I thought I was going to spend this week, right? You don't think about this stuff as you're doing it. But once you go back, it's like, oh, I actually was out of control last week. Let me get myself together. Okay, so go back and look at those things. Check your bank statements. Check your credit card statements, because it's no reason to be surprised at the end of the month when your credit card minimum is now twice as high because your balance has increased. It's no reason to wonder why, oh, I don't have as much money in my account as I thought I did. I wonder why, okay? Number 2, are you tracking where your money goes weekly, or are you just hoping for the best until payday? Baby, are you keeping up? If you get paid $2,000 on the 1st and the 15th, there's no reason why between the 1st and the 15th, you don't know where $2,000 went. You should not just be spending. And this really goes with number 1, but still, it's a separate standalone question. Are you tracking what you're doing? Y'all, it makes more sense to have some type of budget planner, a piece of paper. I don't really care how you are going to map out your expenses, but you need to see it. I get paid $2,000 on the 1st. I know that I have to contribute to rent. I know that I have to pay my car note. I know that I have to pay this, pay that, whatever. This is not me breaking down how you can't afford stuff. This is an episode of me telling you how you can get better at managing your money. Okay, so I don't want to hear any comments about people saying like, oh, my rent is $2,000. We're not talking about that. When was the last time you did that? Are you tracking where your money goes, or are you just spending it? Are you hoping that, okay, well, I'm seeing my account is down to $10 and I just have to wait on payday? No, you need to be going through and looking at all the poor decisions you made this past weekend, this past 2 weeks, right? I ate out 5 days in a row. Oh, I spent $40 for lunch this day, $30 for lunch this day. Went out, spent $50 on a plate. It's like, if you're not keeping up with this stuff, you're not going to be able to recognize the dumb things that you're doing with your money. You're not going to be able to pick up and pinpoint different gaps in your spending. That's like, oh, wait, I was actually tripping right here. And don't ask me to do nothing this week because I don't got it. Because last week, I lost my mind. I thought I was somebody in the freaking, I don't know. Okay. Number 3, this is a really big one. How many subscriptions are quietly draining your account every month? Y'all, it's nothing I hate more than getting charged for a subscription that I don't use no more and realizing that it just got snatched out of my account. That actually makes me want to throw up. And I know for a fact you probably have some subscriptions that are coming out of that bank account that you have not even used within the past couple months, but you're just letting money get taken out of your account, right? You paying for Apple games, you paying for streaming services that you don't even watch, you don't even turn on your TV because you're always on your phone. So why do you even need Netflix and Hulu and Stars? And honestly, I'm over all the different streaming apps that we have to have just to watch good quality shows. Like, they do this on purpose to keep us addicted and stuck paying for all of these apps, and I'm over it. But when was the last time you really went through and saw like, damn, I'm paying for Canva, I'm paying for CapCut, I'm paying for Adobe, I'm paying for games on my phone that I downloaded from my little cousin or niece or nephew, and I ain't even seen him in a couple months, and I'm still paying for this, right? You have to go through and check this stuff, because guess what? If you don't, you're gonna keep getting got. You think it's oh so small, oh it's just $5, oh it's just $10. When you start adding $10 here, $5 there, $8 here, $7.99. You paying for Apple iCloud storage, $9.99. Okay, you paying for Amazon Prime. That's like $15.99 if you're not a student. By the time you look up, you're spending probably close to like $100, maybe less, maybe more in subscriptions that, you know, you may not even be using or taking advantage of. So get rid of them. Now, moving into number 4, which is a really important one, which a lot of y'all might not want to acknowledge and admit to. But like I said, as your voice of reason, it's my job to ask you these questions that you can play back in your head and answer honestly so that you can make the necessary changes. So, are you treating yourself so often that you're sabotaging your own goals? You feel as if though, oh, I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve to go out and get this. I deserve to go out and buy a new bag. I deserve to go out and buy some new perfume. I deserve to go out and buy some new shoes, some new cologne, a new this, a new that. I don't care what it is. You tell yourself all the time, right? And I'm not saying you're not supposed to treat yourself like, come on, this is queen of treating herself. However, doing this within limits. You can't just tell yourself, oh, it's been a rough week, I'm gonna go treat myself to a new purse. Oh, it's been a rough week, I'm going to go freaking, I don't know, go treat myself to the strip club. Whatever it is that you want to indulge in, or whatever it is that you like to indulge in, I'm not here to judge. But you can't use that as an excuse. You cannot use, you know, having a rough work week every single week as an excuse to treat yourself. You can't use, oh, well, I'm sad and I had a rough day, so I'm going to go do some retail therapy. I'm going to go buy this, buy that, right? A lot of y'all have have that mentality. Something doesn't go your way and you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to fix it by buying myself something. I'm going to go make myself feel better by going to spend some money. Spending some money always makes me feel better. And while I agree with that, because I too think that way, I do know how to control myself. Like, this whole entire summer for me has been a very chill summer, and I have really, okay, put myself under some strong restraints on, just my spending in general because of the goals that I have. And it's like, yeah, you could do this, but like, is it helping you get towards your bigger long-term goals, right? You could go do that. You could go indulge in this. You could go to the spa every week, you know what I'm saying? If you want to do that, get a massage, get this, get that, right? But it's like, at what cost? Because it's a cost to everything. Just because you're looking at the initial cost, you're not looking at the bigger picture. And that's what you have to look at. So that was all the questions for the self-audit. And I just want you to know that mindless spending adds up. Okay, so you can't just go through life thinking that, oh, it's just $5, it's just $10, it's just $20, right? Even down to parking, y'all. In Atlanta, you already know, if you're from Atlanta, you live in Atlanta, whatever, you know that parking be $20 here, $40 here, $10 here, right? Before you know it, you've spent just as much on the fun and festivities and your food and everything on parking. Like, it's really crazy. And it's like, if you're not conscious of that, okay, if you're not really auditing your bank statements and credit card statements and keeping up with how much cash you have on hand, you're not going to think about this stuff. You're not going to think like, you know what, I went to this little spot, or we went to 3 different spots over the weekend and I spent a total of $60 on parking. Mind you, you might go out every weekend. So boom, $60 here, $60 there. By the time you look up and the month is over, you've spent almost $200 in parking. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but you can't say that that's unrealistic, because it's not. Like, a lot of people be like, I'm trying to figure out, where did all my money go? It's there. The proof is there. A lot of people don't want to actually face the facts and look at what's going on, but the proof is really always in the pudding. Okay, and I'm going to give y'all another example on a smaller scale. Let's just say it's not $20. Okay, cool. Let's take something small that you probably engage in, or is a vice of yours that you consistently spend money on, but you're not really adding up how much it costs to indulge in that thing every single day. So let's just say it's a smoothie spot or a juice spot next to the gym that you go to. You're an active person, you love to work out, so you go to the gym maybe 4 to 5 times a week minimum, right? If you don't work out every day. After every workout, you are going to go to this smoothie shop or this juice bar, and the smoothies cost $8. But you don't just go in there and get a smoothie. You also get a muffin or a little sweet treat, maybe a little croissant or whatever. Smoothie shops, coffee shops, they tend to have that stuff. You can use coffee for an example too. Coffee, juice, smoothie, I don't care what you get. Me personally, I'm a smoothie girl, so I don't drink coffee and I love juice as well. So boom, the smoothie is $8. Whatever little pastry you get is $4. So we're at $12, okay? Mind you, I said you go to the gym minimum 4 times a week. Minimum 4 times a week. Let's just go with 4. That's $48 per week. Now, if you do that every single week, with 4 weeks being in a month, that's $192. Now, I'm just going to say that a little bit always adds up to a lot. Think $8 is not a lot, because it's not. You think $4 is not a lot, because it's not. You think $12 is not a lot, because it's not. You think $48 is not a lot, because it's not. However, 48 times 2 times 3 times 4, oh, now you're at $192, which is basically $200 a month. When $200 a month could pay your car note, it could pay your car insurance, it could cover a utility bill, it could cover 2 weeks worth of groceries for you. It could knock down part of your credit card balance that you still haven't paid off, right? You just been paying the minimum, little $35, $40 every month, right? You could be making dents in that $200 payment. Before you know it, the car could be paid off within a couple months. You just playing around just because. Or you could be taking that $200 to start investing, at least getting your investment fund started. So it's like, we don't think about this stuff until we round up and add things up and multiply things and put it in a whole number. In a grand scheme, yes, $12 is not a lot of money. Nobody's tripping over $12. However, $200 is a lot of money. And you can't say that it's not a lot of money, because if $200 was missing from your paycheck, it's up. If somebody stole $200 from you, it's up. If you lost $200, you would be sick. Okay, so $200 is a lot of money to take and put towards different things. And this is really how you have to break down your spending and your expenses, right? A lot of stuff that we spend money on is stuff that we spend money on consistently. So if we just take a look and really analyze and comb through our spending, we'll be able to see, like, you know what? I spend a little bit too much on getting coffee every single morning before work. Learn how to make your own coffee. Why don't you just get a coffee machine, which you can purchase one time, not something that you have to purchase every single day. Make your own coffee at home, right? Instead of purchasing a smoothie for $8, $7, $8 and some change, why don't you just buy some fruit, blend up your own smoothies? Because you'll have more than enough for just one smoothie. Make your own juice. And we all know that laziness is really what holds us back. Laziness is really what contributes to our horrible money habits. So it's just like, you have to ask yourself, am I going to continue to be lazy? Am I going to continue to use this as an excuse? Oh, well, you know, just going to Starbucks, getting some coffee in the morning, that's convenient for me. That's easy for me. Going to the smoothie shop after the gym, you know, I love getting a little sweet treat after I work out and just a little refresher. Okay, if you know that, go straight home, make yourself a smoothie, or already have a smoothie made, right? Already have your fruit cut up, frozen, ready to just throw in there, make it, and you done. Make it easy for yourself. And we all have so many guilty pleasures. Like, I don't want to sit up here and act like, you know, I'm perfect, that I don't have guilty pleasures. We all do. There's so many small little sneaky money drains that come in and just throw you off. You buying a new outfit every time you go out. It seems harmless, but it's like, bro, you have clothes. Even when you already got options, you like, oh, as soon as I hear about an event, I'm finna buy me something new. Feels like all of a sudden, so many different events and things start going on, and now you just buying clothes, right? And it's like, you're not even wearing what you got in your closet. You spending $40 at Target for a body wash, leaving with you going for one thing and you leaving with candles and snacks and a rug and a new little Stanley cup, right? Boom, $100 Target trip. Over tipping, y'all. This is another huge way a lot of people fall victim to. I too used to fall victim into over tipping. And guess what? When people say, oh, I don't ever carry around cash, all I do is carry around my card. Yeah, good for you. I'm going to tip in cash every single time. I'm not tipping on that card, right? And I'm not going to be pressured into tipping 25%, 20%. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's the suggested tipping amount. No. And then it's like, why are you tipping on a takeout order? That's stupid. You ordered the food, you went up there and picked it up. That's it. Why are you tipping on a takeout order? You're just throwing money away. Like, you're throwing money away. They didn't do anything but bag your food up, and you're tipping them $5. Why? And then you do this on a frequent basis because you eat out a lot. So it's like you're paying for your food on top of tipping. $5 here, $5 there, $3 here. Boom. In a week, let's just say your tips added up to $20. A month, that's $100. $100 could be going towards what in your life? Think about it. This is how you have to break stuff down. This is why I'm your voice of reason in this episode. I don't want you to think that I'm preaching at y'all. I'm just trying to get you to look at stuff realistically. Your small money habits are creating big problems for you, or they're making you miss out on big opportunities to move yourself further. Okay. Going to every brunch, going to every birthday dinner, going to every event, even when you're financially stretched and you know for sure this is not the smartest thing for me to be doing right now, but you're doing it anyway. Ordering DoorDash, like I said, I keep mentioning this because this is just like a real prominent one, but ordering DoorDash, ordering food out when you know for a fact you should be cooking at home. You should be meal prepping. For those who say, I don't know how to cook, you can learn on TikTok. That's not an excuse. For those who say, I don't have time to cook, that's an excuse too. I don't even have a rebuttal to that because it's just like, you can find time to cook. Like, you can find time to cook because you can find easy little recipes that you can learn how to cook. So I'm not buying that. But if you want to buy that, you can buy that. I'm not buying that. That's just what you're telling yourself to convince yourself to stay stuck in your bad habits and your bad routines. But this is why money is burning a hole in your pocket. Your bank account looks sad. Your wallet looks sad. You can't keep money to save your life. And it's just because you don't want to fully own up to the bad habits that you have. So y'all know that I'm never just going to have an episode where I'm just reading you for filth. Okay, I'm not just going to call you out. I'm never going to have an episode where I'm not giving you practical tips that you can take and start applying today, immediately, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. If you want to be better, you're going to do better, period. So I am going to give you guys 7 mindful money moves and tips that you can start applying, that you can start doing in your everyday life, that is going to help you save a little money, okay? Help you point your money in different directions, point your money in more important different directions, right? And just make your life a little bit easier. Like, this is a part of becoming a more responsible adult, and that's what I want for you guys. So let's get into these mindful money tips. Number 1. Hey y'all, thanks so much for tuning into the conversation. This episode is actually sponsored by my brand, Mindful Vibes 365. What if I told you the quickest way to beat and overcome your overstimulation, mental burnout, anxiety, depression, and disconnection from God is through the power of fasting from secular music? You probably wouldn't believe me, but as somebody that went an entire year without listening to rap, trap music, R&B, country, drill, rock music, any type of music you can think of, I stopped listening to it for an entire year, and my life completely changed and did a 180. But I didn't just give up that type of music just to give it up. Instead, I started spending my time listening to gospel music, podcasts, sermons, audiobooks, personal development teachings, and Bible readings every single day around the clock. And I can honestly say, so many benefits to reprogramming your mind and vibe through the power of fasting from secular music, which is exactly why I created a 90-day guided workbook that's going to help guide you successfully through the next 90 days. You're going to have access to thought-provoking quotes, tips that you can apply to your life every single week, and you're going to have recommended resources such as sermons, audiobooks, personal development teachings, podcasts, Bible readings, and so much more. You're also going to have space to just simply jot down and brain dump about what's on your mind, what's your vibe for the day, as well as recap on your week. And by the end of this 90 days, I can honestly guarantee your life is not going to be the same, and you might even want to keep going. So go ahead and make sure you grab your copy of your Mindful Vibes 365 workbook. I can go ahead and congratulate you on the new person that you're getting ready to become. Once you complete this 90-day secular music fast by using this workbook, you're going to be a brand new person, and your life is not going to be the same. So make sure you go ahead and tap the link below to grab yours today. Let's get back to the conversation. I want you guys to have a weekly money check-in, like every Sunday before the week start, or whenever you get your paycheck. I need you to review your transactions, and I want you to keep up with where your money is going. Cancel what you're not using. This is something you can go and do right now. Highlight triggers, highlight things that you're spending money on just because you have the money. Just because you have the money, you're eating out. Just because you have the money, you're buying smoothies and coffee and this, that, and the third every single day. Like a sweet treat. I love me a little sweet treat. Yeah, no. Okay, figure out where your emotional spending is coming from. Figure out what stores, what brands, what companies, whatever, like tempt you to spend money. Boom. And then you can go from there. Going into number 2, I want you to create a fun budget. This is where a lot of people fumble. This is where a lot of people are going wrong. You are spending money based on how much money you have left in your bank account after you like pay your important bills and stuff. And sometimes folks don't even pay their bills first before they prioritize having fun. So I want you to create a fun budget. This is going to be your budget for the fun stuff you're going to do between paychecks, or for the month, or however you want to do it. You got to for 2 weeks or for a month, whatever. You're going to have a fun budget, and this is going to give yourself room for joy, but you're going to have limits. Okay. In this fun budget, it might be $200. When the $200 is gone, guess you can't have no fun no more. Maybe it's $100. Maybe it's $200, $300, however much you can afford, but you need to have a designated budget for this. A lot of y'all are just seeing like, okay, boom, I have $1,000 left in my account. Whatever else I want to do after, I pay my bills and stuff, I have this much to work with. And it's like, You really don't need to blow through a whole band. You don't need to blow through a whole $500. You can have fun on a budget. You can have fun by just doing certain things. Everything don't have to be expensive. All right. So you need to set limits. And when it's gone, it's gone. If you set a limit of $300 for fun, which might include an outing with friends, dinner, some type of hobby, activity, whatever it is. Okay. When that $300 is gone, I need you to sit down. You in the house, you inside, not outside, but you inside. Okay. Number 3, I want you to DIY your favorites. Okay. Smoothies, coffee, brunch dishes, your favorite dinner dish, right? Anything that you eat out at a restaurant, get good with cooking it yourself. It's not going to always be the same. I'm not saying that you should never go out to a nice restaurant. You should never go out to brunch. I'm just saying you can learn how to enjoy the things that you would normally buy on a consistent basis and spend money on a consistent basis if you would just learn how to make it at home. You can't say like, oh, well, they just have this certain smoothie that just tastes so good and I don't know how to get it like that. Figure it out. It can't be that hard to make a pineapple mango smoothie. It can't be that hard to make a frappe or whatever y'all be drinking. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. But it's not hard. You can figure out. And y'all, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have all of these. You got ChatGPT to tell you how to make stuff. Finesse it. Come on, get creative. When y'all want to do anything else, you'll look it up. So I'm not understanding why it's so hard to DIY some of these things yourself just to save you a few little extra coins. Okay, you will save more money than you think. Especially if you're a person that like lives by yourself, you're gonna save hella bread. Okay. Number 4, I want you to cook in bulk. For the people who say that they don't have time to cook, which is why they eat out so much. I don't have time to cook. It takes too long. Woo, okay. Boom. This is what you're going to do. You're going to start cooking in bulk. And that doesn't mean that you have to eat the same meals. You can cook multiple different meals in one day. Just cook enough to where you can have something for lunch and dinner, different meal, lunch and dinner, different meal. Okay. You can organize it how you want to, but batch cooking 2 to 3 meals is going to give you leftovers. It's going to give you time to where you don't have to think about cooking, about what you're going to eat. I know a lot of like nutritionists, they always say the same thing. Like, it's so hard for people to get a grip on their diet and lose weight or gain weight because you are spending too much time on the small stuff. If you can get that out the way, if you already know what you're eating tonight, there's no need for you to do no thinking. If you already know what's going to be for breakfast in the morning, or what's going to be for lunch today, you already got your lunch. You don't have to worry about going to buy lunch, spend money on lunch. All right. This is going to help you. You can spend $40 or $50 a week instead of spending $100 plus or $40+ on DoorDash per meal. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's be cost effective here, because there's a lot of ways that we can cut little corners to help us not only save money, but just free up some of our money to be able to put it towards other resources. All right. Number 5, I want you to unsubscribe from temptation. You're going to turn off them promotion emails from your favorite brands, Shein, Fashion Nova, Amazon. I don't care what it is, right? Delete the shopping apps. If you want to really take it a step further to where if you do want to order something, you got to do it online. You don't even have the app on your phone. That 40% off sale is really not saving you money, you guys. It's costing you money. Do you guys know that whenever a sale is happening, generally prices are marked up? So you are not necessarily saving just a whole bunch of money. Now, yes, there are times where you can get stuff for a deal, you know, half your cart might be half off or whatever, something might be marked down, you know what I'm saying, 75%. Okay, cool. But for the most part, all of these little flash text messages and emails and alerts about, oh, it's a sale going on, it's a Memorial Day sale, Labor Day sale, Thanksgiving sale, Black Friday sale, sale. It's sale. Whenever something, an event goes on, anything, you're going to get notifications about a sale going on. That don't mean that you have to run out and spend some money. To help you avoid that, you're going to simply just unsubscribe from the temptation. A very, very, very mindful money tip tip. You're going to treat found money very strategically. And found money is money that comes to you just like by surprise. So refunds, bonuses, birthday cash, gifts, the money that man gave you last week, the money that woman sent you, okay? You're going to treat that like, okay, cool, I can do something with this. Don't just spend it and squander it. Start taking in the money that you get from places like that or from resources like that and be like, okay, boom, I'm gonna save 50% of this 500 he sent me. And then I'm gonna take part of it and then put it towards some of my credit card or one of my credit cards. And then I'll take the rest and spend it on something nice. Or boom, I'm gonna take all of this money, extra money, you feel me? Because it's not coming out of your paycheck. It's not coming out your pocket. I'm gonna put all of this toward my credit card. I'm gonna put all of this toward my freaking student loan payment for the month. That's money that I don't have to come out of my pocket for. Start treating your found money or money that just comes to you by any way, that's unexpected money, that's not money from your paycheck, that's not coming out of your bank account in any type of way. Start treating it very strategically because that's going to help you. Okay, if every time you get some extra money, your first thought is to just spend it on some BS, you're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of opportunities to be able to do some more stuff. And number 7, I want you to set a short-term goal. A lot of y'all are out here just moving around without any type of money goals. You just like, I make money, I have money, I spend money. You have these long-term goals, but you don't have short-term goals. You need short-term goals that you can boom, hit quickly. Oh, I can do this quick. Yes, I can probably do this within the next 2 months, within the next month, within the next 3 months, 90 days, whatever the case may be. If you want to pay off a $500 credit card or save $1,000 towards your emergency fund, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter what the short-term goal is, but you need to have a clear goal because that's going to make it easier to say no towards impulse buys, right? Stuff that you don't need. You going to Walmart, you going to Target, and you going in there for groceries, and then you end up picking up a whole bunch of extra stuff. That's your problem right there, right? You don't have any short-term goals that'll allow you to be like, you know what? I could spend this extra $50 on this stuff that I didn't see and add it to my cart in here, or I'm trying to have a little emergency cushion fund, or I'm trying to start saving up for people's Christmas gifts. So let me put this little extra 50 or extra 100 towards this, right? That's only going to be in my best interest, okay? You got to start thinking and moving smart. And number 8, which is a bonus tip. I said I was going to do 7, but 8 is a bonus. Learn how to be bored. A lot of y'all simply just can't save money, or you have poor money habits. Money burns a hole in your pocket. You are a spendthrift because you simply just cannot be bored. You're like, I have to always be doing something. I like to be outside. I'm ready to go. I'm on go. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go here. Let's go to brunch. Let's go eat. Let's go to this day party. You're always the one that's saying, let's do something. If you learn how to be bored and just sometimes sit your butt in the house, right? Even if you're going to be with your friends, tell your folks to come over, cook a little dish, right? Everybody bring a dish. Everybody bring some, or we order pizza, which is something inexpensive, and we can have a little chill movie night. We can have a little chill game night. Something, right? It doesn't always have to be something in terms of just something so exciting and adventurous. Learn how to be bored. Learning how to be bored will keep a lot of money in your pocket. If you can learn how to control yourself with your extra spending of going on Amazon. I know it's like a little meme. It's like, oh, I can sit in the house and I'll be doing good, saving money, and then I go spend hundreds of dollars of Amazon stuff and buying clothes. No, if you can get those habits under control and you can learn how to be bored, you will be in a game. Your bank account will be looking a little healthier, right? Your savings will be looking a little healthier. You might can start investing maybe $50 to $100 every single month until you can up it and contribute more. This is how you have to start thinking. So just to close things out, if this episode gave you the reality check that you needed, I'm glad because that's exactly what I wanted to do. And share it with a friend, share it with your group chat. Like, let's normalize being financially responsible, but still enjoying your life. You don't have to be boring. You don't have to be this person that just sits in the house, never does anything. Like, no, I'm not that person. So I would never tell y'all to be that person. But it does become a time where, like I said, if you're in your 20s, it's honestly in your best interest to get really good at learning how to be financially responsible now. Financially responsible does not equal boring. does not equal never going out, does not equal never buying yourself nothing. No, you just have to do it in moderation. You just have to do it according to your means. And in the meantime, work on figuring out how you can make you some more money. Don't forget that part. Remember, multiple things can be true. Yes, you need to make more money. You need to increase your income, but you also need to learn how to manage your expenses, manage your money, budget, just get a grip on your spending habits, you guys, and just overall become more disciplined. So if you stayed to the very end of this conversation, I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. We are growing every single day. We just hit 200 subscribers on this channel. So I'm super excited. I'm locked in. I'm ready to just be consistent and continue giving you guys a lot of great, valuable content every single week. And I'm just excited about the direction of this podcast and where things are going. We have merch coming soon. So many different exciting things and changes. And I'm just ready to continue to keep building my tribe. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what you thought about this episode as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Bye.